here anymore.
Because we're after that American dream, and we finally got it, and then somebody comes and makes it into a nightmare.
Between the 1950s and the 70s, thousands of Mexican families moved to Pilsen and Little Village after being displaced by urban renewal projects. There, they've built communities rooted in Latino aesthetics and values. But today, rising investment and housing costs are fueling gentrification. Baltasar Enriquez is the president of the Little Village Community Council. He moved here with his family when he was only 11 years old.
We have seen investors constantly harass us to sell our property to them, and then they rehab it and upgrade it, and then they charge an exorbitant amount of rent for a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. So that begins the displacement of our people.
For Enriquez, the situation is personal.
We were paying $4,800 a year in property tax. Now we're paying $7,800. So do we pay the taxes? Do we pay the gas bill? Do we pay the light bill or the water bill?
Real estate experts don't think the same. Miguel Chacon has lived in Pilsen for over 30 years, and he now works as a real estate broker in the area.
The fact is that property values have increased, and they've increased because more people are moving back to the neighborhood. It's becoming more desirable. Is that the majority of the people that are gentrifying the community are Latino professionals. They have gone to college, they have done well. Now, unless we can get people to acknowledge that they are exactly what they're against, I think we're going to continue on this battle of blaming others for changing the neighborhood.
Local advocates say there might be a solution. Javier Ruiz is the member of a board of directors of the Pilsen Alliance.
I mean, we need a lot of reforms, right? I mean, we need to fight for, rent control on a state level, tenants protections, more fair property tax system. Right now, corporations don't pay their fair share a lot when it comes to property taxes, so that's something that needs to be fixed.
The local zoning board has also joined the conversation.
There's some developers who really are just looking about investment, and there are some that really do want to invest in the community. And while we understand, they need to understand that we're going to be in the way. Those developers that displace, we don't try to recommend them to move forward unless they have their legal right to do so.
For many families who have called Pilsen and Little Village home for generations, the question isn't if their communities will change, but whether they'll still have a place in them when they do. Reporting from Chicago, Micaela Rivera Porras, Northwestern News Network.
To contact the 25th Ward Zoning Advisory Board, you can visit their website at 25thward.org.
According to the National Automobile Dealers Association, the automotive industry is in a technician shortage. One nonprofit repair shop in Ravenswood is trying to close that gap while creating more space for women and non-binary mechanics. NNN's Margaret Gonzalez has more.
Lisa Thompson started auto repair shop Mecanista with one experience in mind.
Always hated taking my car in because I'm always worried that I was getting scammed or getting lied to or getting sold something I didn't really need.
Thompson says that years of uncomfortable experiences at repair shops pushed her to open Mecanista 6 months ago.
I wanted to create a safe space for women to be in the automotive industry and for them to join the industry as employees and as customers.
That vision is part of a larger issue in the automotive industry. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that women make up only about 2% of the automotive technicians nationwide. The industry is also facing an overall shortage of 37,000 technicians, a gap identified by the National Automotive Dealers Association. Educators across Illinois say that the shortage is already impacting everyday drivers.
If you go to the dealership, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get your car serviced now because they don't have technicians.
Now, Mecanista plans to train women and non-binary students through workshops and paid apprenticeships.
You deserve to be in this space. You deserve to ask questions. You deserve to be curious.
Ray Chaffin helps run day-to-day operations at the shop and says that one-on-one connections can help women and non-binary people learn new skills too.
We did a bring your own car, and I had people go to their spare tire and actually check the tire pressure of your spare tire.
Thompson hopes creating more accessible and welcoming spaces could help bring new workers into the field.
There are so many girls who are interested in cars, they're interested in STEM, they're interested in getting their hands dirty, and we would love to educate all of them.
Her long-term goal is to expand the apprenticeship program and eventually have the shop staffed by mechanics trained through the program itself. In Ravenswood, Margaret Gonzalez, Northwestern News Network.
Thank you, Margaret, for that report. We'll be right back.
ladies and gentlemen, the Northwestern University Wildcat Marching Band.
Welcome back. The Illinois Holocaust Museum launched a new exhibit at their downtown location, and NNN's Nina Bowens takes us there.
The town became a ghetto. Conditions were terrible.
Stories, historical items, and innovative exhibits are drawing crowds to the Illinois Holocaust Museum's satellite location in downtown Chicago. Their typical location, a 65,000 square foot building in Skokie, closed last summer for renovations. Amanda Berman, communications director for the museum, said the renovations were to prioritize visitor experience.
We're at a pretty critical moment right now in history. Unfortunately, just levels of anti-Semitism and hate are going up, so we really didn't want to have to close our doors for a year and a half.
The Chicago location offers a 360 exhibit where visitors can put on virtual reality headsets and experience a survivor's story, a Stories of Survival gallery filled with personal items and anecdotes from World War II and other genocides, and a holography theater allowing guests to ask survivors questions.
So I think it really allows you to have a very personal experience and build an actual connection to a person.
One of those survivors to connect with is Sam Harris, who passed away last month. His is one of many stories in the museum's holography theater.
I only wish that there was something more I can do as an individual. The best way to help it is through education.
The museum prioritizes sharing stories, including their own.
In around 1977, there was a neo-Nazi threat to protest in Skokie, and given that Skokie was one of the largest populations of survivors, that was definitely very targeted and intentional, and it really made the survivors realize that they needed to speak out and share their stories so something like the Holocaust wouldn't happen again.
The museum started as a storefront in 1981 and reopened as an education center in 2009. The renovations will feature a reflection space, as well as a new auditorium and lobby. Nina Bowens, Northwestern News Network.
For more information about the museum or its exhibitions, visit their website at ilholocaustmuseum.org. Now, after the break, we are getting put to the test.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
All right, welcome back, folks. Paris and I truly do not know what's about to happen, but the teleprompter is telling me that Victoria Ryan is joining us in the studio with the NNN quiz. Victoria, what's this?
So for those of you that may remember the morning show last quarter, Lance quizzed me on trivia and I did very poorly.
This is payback.
This is payback. I'm getting my revenge right now.
Oh gosh.
There's going to be 3 questions about your time in NNN.
Oh.
So no prize, work together. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Question 1. What color was Paris's outfit in this package when she covered the garage?
I need to look at this.
Your options are A,
Oh,
green,
I know.
D, red, C, blue, and D, purple.
I know.
Can I guess? I don't.
Wait, but I know. You can guess.
I'm guessing you wouldn't wear green or red. I'm guessing it's blue.
It is blue.
Is it this one?
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Let's see our answer. Let's see our answer. Oh, it is blue.
But not this blue.
I
dress.
remember. That's
Good job.
crazy because that was my first ever live shot, so I was very nervous. I had to pick out the right outfit.
Definitely,
High stakes,
definitely.
high
Well, I
stakes.
like the tie-dye too. I think that's a good touch.
Yeah.
So number 2, what is Lance talking about in this very nondescript screenshot from
Oh,
a pre-show
no.
broadcast? All 4 of these answers are
What?
stories he has actually covered.
These are real?
A, Evanston Crime App, B, gay opera, C, Norris, D, summer research. These are all real stories.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna go gay opera.
No, I'm gonna
for
say
Pride Month.
it's either Norris or summer research, but I think I'm gonna go with summer research because you're at the board explaining things.
I do remember all these. I don't know why I would be at a monitor for a gay opera, but again,
You never
I'm
know.
gonna go
Okay,
with that.
let's see that answer. It is C, Norris.
That is by far the most boring.
Well,
answer.
unfortunately. But you did do stories on all of these if you go through the archives.
Okay,
so
there
None
you
of us
go.
got it.
Okay,
That's
third question. Including today,
Oh boy.
how many times have you
Ooh.
anchored together?
I know.
She
You know,
said never.
okay.
Never. This is our
Well, this
first.
is including today, so the
Oh,
answer would
so
be
once.
Once, okay.
Including
I
today, one
agree.
time.
One
Including today,
time?
one time.
Okay.
Because I remember we've done panels together, but we've never anchored together.
Survey says twice.
Twice?
Unfortunately, yes.
When did we anchor together?
What was the other one? A Politicat, probably.
It was a
I
Politicat.
guarantee you it's a
Oh, okay.
Politicat,
Sophomore year
actually.
Politicat. Sophomore year
No,
Politicat.
that makes
Yes.
sense.
Okay.
That
Well,
does make
thank you
sense.
all. You did much better than I did in the morning show. So.
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, it was much harder questions, I will say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great.
Yeah, well, and if you didn't know, this is not only our last show of the year, but also Paris and I are seniors, so this makes it our last show ever. So we wanted to say a couple quick words. First of all, I mean, it's hard to put into a few short TV-friendly sentences to describe just how NNN has been for us. NNN is not only special because of the great training ground it is for all of us young journalists, but also because of the fantastic people here. We often say NNN is like a family, and that couldn't be more true. Not just the people on camera, but all the people who you never see behind the scenes in the control room, and also our incredible faculty, Catherine, Matt, Larry, Ivan. I can't say enough about all of you guys and all the people here for making this a special time for me and for creating such a great platform for me to build what is hopefully a really long career in broadcast news.
Of course, Lance said the big thank yous, but again, thank you also to all the amazing people that I met covering these amazing stories over 4 years. So many great experiences have really come out of NNN, and I'm so thankful to everyone who poured into the girl who came here knowing nothing about broadcast journalism, the teachers, the students, the advisors who've helped create the broadcaster that I am today. NNN has really just become such a family. We're all friends outside of this, and I'm so thankful for the time I've had here, and I know I'm really gonna miss it. Well, that is all the time we have for tonight on the Chicago Show on the Northwestern News Network. For the very last time, I'm Paris Bransway.
And I'm Lance Wilhelm. Thanks for a great year, and have a great summer.